is happening, R&R family? We are back at it again with Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 230. I am excited for this chapter. Let's go! Chapter was amazing, and how this chapter starts with Mei explaining that the Shikigami that people are seeing in front of them is Mahoraga, which is the trump card of the Zenin clan. So how I'm viewing this is that everybody knows who Mahoraga is, even if they haven't seen it in a while. And that's when, Choso, our boy Choso here, asks that this Shikigami can adapt to any kind of attack, which Yuji then asks if he's already adapted to Unlimited Void. When we go to the battlefield, we see that Sukuna is sending Mahoraga back into the shadow. While at the process of him doing that, we understand Satoru's rapid fire thinking where he was figuring out how could Mahoraga already adapted to Unlimited Void. And we see that he start thinking like, who took the sure hit? Because they opened the domain 5 times. And even though they opened their domain 5 times, Satoru's sure hit effect attacks everyone inside the domain, while Sukuna's sure hit attack attacks everyone but himself. Yet, he realizes Mahoraga couldn't possibly have adapted to Unlimited Void because he came out before he even did. And that's when we learned that Sukuna made Megumi Soul take the burden of Unlimited Void. So pretty much Megumi Soul took the hit 5 times, which Gojo says sarcastically he's happy that he's pushing Sukuna to the brink. But Sukuna explains that when he wasn't using domain amplification, he made Megumi Soul adapt to Unlimited Void. In the process of him doing that, he can only use what was applied to his domain, so he couldn't use any other curse technique. Because of the simple fact is, he had Megumi adapt to Unlimited Void. But Gojo explains that Megumi Soul was only in the process of adapting, that he didn't fully adapt to Unlimited Void, which means that if he opens his domain expansion again, then Sukuna had no choice but to release Mahoraga, which will cause Gojo to one-shot Mahoraga, which, of course, Sukuna laughs at him like, you ain't going to open your domain at all, brother. And Gojo unexpectedly start bleeding, which everyone who's watching the fight is shocked. And even Yuto's like, is this bad feeling seems to be correct. And Sukuna explains that Satoru pretty much overexerted himself by recovering his burnt out curse technique. He was really honestly destroying his brain because curse techniques are etched into the prefrontal cortex of the brain. But Gojo was using his curse technique or curse energy to destroy that part of the brain. And then he will pretty much hit the refresh button with the reverse curse technique and heal his burnt out curse technique. But he did that 5 times. And Sukuna did it less times to him. We'll say Sukuna did it about 3 times. So because of Sukuna should be a little bit more healthier than Satoru. And Shoko summarizes that she thought that Gojo was really good at healing his brain, because back in the hidden inventory arc, when we found out that Gojo was enlightened, he said that he was getting better at healing his brain. So, but as it seems now, he's pretty much causing himself to get some brain disease. So, what Sukuna ends up saying is that he's going to close his domain this time. So he's going to have a barrier on his domain, and then he's going to cut up Satoru at the same time and adapt to his limitless at the same time as cutting him up. And then Sukuna's talking all his trash talking about that. He was born in an era where he himself, Sukuna, was not born into, and because of that, that's why he was considered the strongest. But facing against Sukuna, he's an ordinary guy. So he releases his domain, and just like Satoru, his eyes start bleeding, and Malevolent Shrine is destroyed. And what makes this funny is Satoru's laughing at him, and we learned that Sukuna actually did take Unlimited Void. It may not have been for 10 seconds, but he took Unlimited Void, and Unlimited Void actually damaged a part of his brain that releases domain expansion. So Sukuna is in the same situation as Satoru is. He damaged his brain. And Gojo then points out to the crows that are watching this, is saying that his students are watching this. So because his student is watching this, he has to kind of show off in front of his students. And then he pretty much uses his telekinetic ability, Blue, because Blue pretty much is like a telekinesis or gravity type attack, and punches Sukuna in the face. And the narrator recalls Yorozo, where she says, I have more to teach you about love and ultimate strength and the solitude it brings. And that's where the chapter ends, where both of the strongest are going into round 2. And this chapter was like really hyped. The fact that Sukuna laughed at Gojo, and Gojo laughs at Sukuna. They're laughing at each other, and you could tell that these two dudes are having a blast. And we're going to get into chapter 231, and I will catch you guys on the next one. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.